callers and not necessarily those of this station, its staff, management, or sponsors.
Welcome to the Ask the Experts show with local experts in the fields of legal, health, financial, and home improvement. Enjoy being educated in such topics as personal injury law, community association law, family law, bankruptcy law, along with health show topics like pain management, men's health, and dental implants. Now, sit back and enjoy today's Ask the Experts with host Steve-O.
Hey, early evening time show. You know, we're at 6 o'clock, so we're not afternoon, but it's still light outside. So it's sort of late afternoon, early evening. But hey, I'm so glad we're here today. This is the Ask the Expert show. We're on every Monday and Thursday from 6 to 7 drive time, and we what we do is we bring on all the local experts in South Florida. And I'm going to tell you something, we get so much great feedback from our listeners. But before we start the show today, because we're waiting on our expert, there is a big event tomorrow. And I promised people that I would promote it for them because to me, it's a very important event. It's a luncheon tomorrow at 11:30 at Da Vinci's Ristorante Italiano. They're going to have a great speaker there. I don't know if you remember Siggy Flicker. I know Freddie does. She was one of the Real Housewives, and she is going to be speaking tomorrow, a guest speaker, along with Michelle Terrace. And if you don't know who Michelle Terrace is, she has an organization called Jexit, Jexit. Their website is jexitusa.org, and what they do is they fight anti-Semitism. So I'm definitely on board with that. They're going to be talking about Patriots for the Trump Club, and they're going to be serving a 3-course lunch tomorrow. And I think they've only got 4 seats left, but it's at 11:30 tomorrow, Da Vinci's Restaurant Italiano. And again, Ziggy Flicker. You think that's her real name? Ziggy Flicker? I mean, what mother would name their daughter Ziggy? And especially with a last name like Flicker. But listen, I have no room to talk. That's why I call it Steve-O. So I think what we're going to do tonight, and I don't know if Freddie is listening. If he is, I would love for him to hop on with me. There are so many things going on just right here in South Florida. Does anybody understand these COVID numbers? They said the other day he was killed in an automobile accident, and they showed that person died of COVID-19. Now, here's the deal. You know, the hospitals get more money if it's a COVID patient than they do if it's just a regular patient. And also, what I'm wondering is, you know, if the test doesn't work right and they have to give it to you again, you're counted as 2 people, not 1 time, but 2. There is a reporter who has been going around investigating these numbers. There was a group in Central Florida that 180 people were tested for COVID, and they are all tested positive. Come on, you don't believe that, do you? I think these numbers are over exaggerated. I know there's a lot of people who are getting scared again out there because they keep hearing the numbers are going up. Just remember, they're now going, I think they're like something like 20,000 people a day they're testing. So they're testing a lot more people now. So of course the numbers are going to come up. But you know what's strange is I don't hear them talking about deaths anymore, because the death rate has gone way down, and the doctors actually understand this virus a lot better than they did when it first started. You've got the big shot Democrats out there bragging, saying they could have done a better job. Well, there's no way, because no one in the beginning understood this. We had China lying to us. No one understood this virus. So for a Democrat to get up and say they could have done a better job, but if you notice, they never tell you what they would have done different than our president's doing. But there are people out there playing with numbers just like, and I'm going to tell you people this, and maybe I can get some Democrats to call. You can call us here at 888-565-1470 if you've got a complaint or you agree with what I'm saying. Here's the deal. You see, every single state, Biden is winning. I haven't seen one state that shows the president winning. How in the world can anybody with their right mind vote for Biden, the guy who never comes out of his basement? And when he does, they have to control them. I have never in my life, he was making a speech and you could tell he was starting to stutter his words. A lady walked onto the stage and said, "We must go now." Who has ever heard of anything like that? I mean, even when President Trump says he's going to do 30 minutes of a speech and he ends up doing an hour and a half, can you imagine anybody like Kayleigh McEnany coming out and saying, "Oh, Mr. President, you've been on too long, you must come off"? What are they trying to hide? Something is absolutely not right. Now, I do know you've got to learn how to read these numbers. You've got to learn that you can actually see, and it's funny how they always put it into small print. These numbers are so skewed with Democrats and independents, and everybody knows independents are usually Democrats. So it is skewed so much towards Democrat. Anybody would show the kind of numbers they are now. There are real numbers out there. Even the president was talking today. There's real numbers out there that actually shows winning most of the states. Now, why in the world, if Biden is so far ahead, like these numbers showed, are the Democrats so worried? I would love for someone to call us right now at 888-565-1470 and tell me, do you think Biden's even going to show up for any of these debates? Can you imagine Joe Biden debating the president? I'm gonna tell you right now. I know a lot of my listeners watch the news, and if you see what's going out there in Portland or Seattle, and you can sit there and look me straight in the eye and tell me that they're not rioting, they're just a peaceful protest. That's what we hear every night from the mayor and the governor of both Oregon and Washington. In the meantime, have you seen what these people are bringing to the party? I mean, they're bringing commercial fireworks. they're bringing Molotov cocktails. They found ammunition yesterday because in Portland they want to destroy the federal courthouse. They even had one of the, and I'm going to call them Antifa because there are some Antifa there. These aren't Boy Scouts and Girl Scouts there. They told a reporter not only do they want to burn the building down, but they hope there's a lot of people inside. Is that truly what you want in America today? Are these the kind of people that you, I mean, let me tell you something. If Biden gets elected, not only will we have this in Oregon and Washington, we will have this everywhere. Don't think it will not come to your city. I did not even know that they're having a lot of trouble in Albuquerque. You know, here we have a president, and listen, I know there's people who don't like President Trump, but when you ask these same people why they don't like him, the first thing they say is he lies. Okay. Then I'll ask them, what has he lied about? And it's so funny. They always revert back to the wall. He said he was going to build a wall and Mexico was going to pay for it. Well, he's building a wall, and in a way, Mexico is paying for it. But give me some more lies. Oh, he lied about COVID. Well, what has he lied about COVID? He can only go by the information that's given to him. He's not a doctor. He goes by Fauci, who, I don't know if you saw him the other night throwing out the baseball. Oh my God, I would have been so embarrassed at that. By the way, we're going to go to break. You can watch us right now on our Facebook, which is Ask the Experts, Steve O host. You can join us. I'd love for you all to call in. I know a lot of people from the old Steve O and Renee show that listen to the show on Mondays and Thursdays. We're going to go to break. When we come back, we got more with Ask the Experts.
At EnviroTech Air Quality Services, their qualified technicians are experts in the air conditioning and heating field. They make sure to stay up to date with the latest technology and methods so that they can provide their Palm Beach area customers with superior HVAC services. Their technicians are trained by well-known manufacturers and suppliers in the industry, such as Trane and Johnstone Supply. EnviroTech Air Quality Services serves over 500 residential and commercial customers, many of whom are long-term clients. A large portion of their business comes from customer referrals, and they are the preferred AC vendor to two of the largest polo clubs in the region. They value each and every customer and tailor their services and recommendations to their needs and financial situations. Thane Brunsvold, the president of EnviroTech Air Quality Services, oversees each project with his hands-on approach on each job. Ask about their free 12-month residential service contract. Contact EnviroTech Air Quality Services today at 561-327-4486.
And we're back. This is the Ask the Experts radio show. We're on every Monday and Thursday from 6 to 7 p.m. We bring on some of the top experts in their fields of legal, health, financial, and home improvement. It's such a great show, and we tell all of our experts, this is not an advertisement for you. We want you to educate our listeners. And we have so many different topics. Our hottest show is probably our HOA show. We're just banging with calls. But today we were supposed to have EnviroTech Air Quality. They are our air conditioning sponsors because there's so many things to learn about COVID. And I know Thane, the owner, got stuck in traffic, and we didn't have time to go search for a show, so I'm just Talking about today is something dear to my heart. If you ever listen to the Steve-O and Renee morning show, you know that we are a conservative show. We have some of the biggest names in politics come on our show, and we really do study politics. Um, if you can't tell, I am kind of sitting in a wheelchair because I had my knee operated on. I had my entire knee replaced. Think about it. If you ever want to get your knee replaced, think about it. It is a long, painful process. But if you can not walk on your legs anymore because the arthritis, which has eaten away all the bone, then get it. But it is painful. I ended up having to go. Of all places, they put me in. They put me in a nursing home to rehab me. I mean, what a place not to be. And they said, well, we've only had 9 people die here. Boy, I was so nervous the whole time I was there. I think I wore 3 masks. Anyway, this is the Ask the Expert show, and we've got about 10 more minutes left to our next show, which we're going to be talking about uh, family law with Tina Lewert. But I was just thinking about, there's people out there, they look at these numbers and they're going, what, there's 100 days left, I think, and they're going, how come Trump is so far behind? I'm telling you, he's not behind. I am telling you, you'll remember this day. He is not behind. There is more enthusiasm for President Trump than there is for Joe Biden, the guy who doesn't even know what state he's in. He called his sister his wife. This guy, that's why do you think they're not letting him out of the basement? Why do you think he's not going and making speeches anywhere and not allowing the press to ask him questions? President Trump was on, what was the show he was on Fox the other day? I can't believe I've forgotten the name of the show. Anyway, this guy is a tough interview. He doesn't really like Trump at all. It's pretty obvious. And I mean, there was nothing but gotcha questions. You know what? Biden will not go on his show. He will not appear there. So when he does, a few times gets questions, they're always softball questions every single time. I mean, listen, we need someone who is so strong now with what's going on in China, with what's going on in COVID, with what's going on with the economy. And by the way, you watch, this economy is going to come, it's already started, is going to come roaring back even better than before. But the economy is going to come back. And I'm going to tell you something, in the next couple weeks, there's going to be some things come out of people who are literally spying on the president. And that's where my friends all jump on me. Oh, no one spied on the president. Don't tell anybody that, because you're going to sound like a fool. Because it's coming out. It's been coming out for several years. Now it's really coming out. You are going to be shocked to see who was behind the spying. Listen, Barr has even said, Attorney General Barr has even said spying, and that's what it was. So you can try to deny it all day long, but you know what? You better start educating yourself, because what happens if it happens to a Democrat president someday? Then you're not going to like it as much. So many things going on that this president has to be strong about. Listen, let me tell you something. Even Democrats are saying how tough President Trump is on China. No one's ever been tough on China, ever. including Joe Biden and Obama. And let me tell you something. It's a shame that he's had to get experience on the run, but the president understands and knows this virus. You might say, well, why did it come back? Why did I keep hearing, why did he tell people they didn't have to wear masks? Guess what? Fauci said you don't have to wear masks. I mean, it's been a back and forth thing. Who to listen to, who not to listen to. I mean, it's driven us all crazy. But let me tell you what's happened, why these numbers have skyrocketed. And it's so sad. These restaurants have been losing a lot of money, these restaurants and bars. And you know what? When you've got a lot of people coming in that want to buy booze and want to drink, and you've been losing money, it was supposed to be 25% at first and 50%. I saw pictures of these bars packed, packed to the gills. No one wearing masks. Remember the story that came out about the 16 women in Jacksonville who all went out to dinner and not one of them wore a mask, and all 16 of them ended up positive for COVID. So, you know what? We let our guard down, kind of like we do when we don't know if a hurricane's really coming or not. We have got to go back to what we were doing before and still open up this country. You know, I just read an article. The Pediatric Association of America said these kids have got to go back. And because kids are unlikely to get this virus, and even if they do, it would not be bad. Look who's keeping these kids at home. What is that going to do to the economy? Who is trying to make the economy worse than it is? It's those people with that D in front of their name. How could you not let your kids go to school when there's so many doctors saying yes? Now listen, it doesn't, I mean, I'm seeing right now that there's so much pressure being put on the school district on these kids going back to school, but they've got to go back to school. How else are mom and dad going to work? These kids need to be around other kids. There are ways that they can position these kids. And you know what? I hear parents say, well, my kid's not going to wear a mask. Well, you got to do it. You have to do it. It beats them staying at home. These kids are miserable at home. They do want to go to school. It was really funny. They're talking about, uh, all the money they want for schools, but they don't want. But on the other hand, they're telling us they don't want to send their kids to school. Well, you can't have it both ways. You can't not send the kids to school and still expect the same kind of funding for the school. Well, I tell you what, I feel better already. I've spent 30 minutes getting things off my back. I've been secluded here at the house because I can't drive or do anything else. And thank God for Ask the Experts. We're on, like I said, every Monday and Thursday from 6 to 7. And I hope you'll join us Thursday. We've got some great shows lined up. We are going to be going to break. The only bad part about this is usually my great producer, Ken, will tell me how much time is left. I have no earthly idea. I'm just going by the clock. So when we go to break, we usually go before the half hour. And then we've got one of the best family law attorneys coming on, Tina Lewert. She's out of Boca Raton. She's amazing. She is a certified family attorney. I promise you, you will learn so much from her. So I guess we're going to go to break. I guess it's okay. We will be right back with more Ask the Experts with Steve-O.
At Envirotech Air Quality Services, their qualified technicians are experts in the air conditioning and heating field. They make sure to stay up to date with the latest technology and methods so that they can provide their Palm Beach area customers with superior HVAC services. Their technicians are trained by well-known manufacturers and suppliers in the industry, such as Trane and Johnstone Supply. Envirotech Air Quality Services serves over 500 residential and commercial customers, many of whom are long-term clients. A large portion of their business comes from customer referrals, and they are the preferred AC vendor to two of the largest polo clubs in the region. They value each and every customer and tailor their services and recommendations to their needs and financial situations. Thane Brunsvold, the president of Envirotech Air Quality Services, oversees each project with his hands-on approach on each job. Ask about their free 12-month residential service contract. Contact Envirotech Air Quality Services today at 561-327-4486.
Lewert Law Offices